Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. And in today's video, I just want to respond to some comments I've gotten over the above the tie bamboo SE1 single edge razor and respond to a few questions as well. And first, let's get the nonsense out of the way. Some fellow suggested I was kissing Stan's butt because he sent me this razor to try. Let me just clear that up at the onset. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever to me if you buy this razor or not. I don't make a penny on it. This isn't a freebie. I already paid my $185 for this razor, although this is a prototype that will be going back to Stan. So I don't get anything whatsoever out of this. The reason Stan sent me this razor to test is because a little over a year ago, he and I had a conversation on the phone, which I kept private. And we talked about, what was going on sort of in the community. And I said, Stan, I think there's demand for a single edge type razor using the Artist Club style blades. Mongoose had done their razor, Cobra had done theirs, and I said, I think it would be great if Above the Tie made one. And also, I said, I would love to see a wave handle from Above the Tie. And so Stan delivered on that. He made the single edge razor, and I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that I'm the reason he made it. We just had that conversation, and I encouraged him to make it, and so when he made it, he sent me some pictures of it, which again, I kept private at his request. And when the razor was ready, prototype, he took it to the Big Shave West, unveiled it, and then he sent it to me to try out. So I'm just trying it out and giving my feedback and sharing this with you guys because it's available for pre-order. Totally up to you if you want to buy this or not. Doesn't make a dime for me either way. All right, let's get to another comment. Some people have knocked this razor because it's made of 303 stainless. I don't know that it's made of 303 stainless to begin with, but I do know some of the other above the tie razors, maybe all, are made from 303 stainless. Look, I have owned every razor that Icon has made, every model, and I have never had an issue with rust or durability with any of these razors, ever. And I've been using these for 3 years. All right, so I've never had any trouble with an above the tie razor or the grade of steel. I looked the steel up and it said it's a mid-grade steel and it's used where, and I'm actually reading it right now, let's see what it says. Mid-grade alloy where strength and resistance to the elements are critical. It says it's used for fluid handling, hydraulics, aircraft parts, gears, pipe connectors, sleeves, nuts, screws, studs. I think it'll be just fine in a razor, don't you? If it's used in gears, aircraft parts, I think it'll hold up just fine as a razor. I haven't had any problem whatsoever with 303 stainless, if that's in fact what this is made of. Not an issue for me whatsoever. So let's just put that to bed right now. Second comment that has come in, $185, that's too much money. I totally understand that. If $185 is out of your budget, that's okay. But what I would offer here is how many stainless steel razors are being produced here in the United States, machined and made here in the United States. How many? I don't know very many. So it's naturally going to be more expensive than it would be if it were produced abroad somewhere. For me, the $185 is just an investment in a lifetime tool. That's the way I look at it. Now, having said that, you guys know I love budget gear. So I love the razors like the Colonial Razors General as well. And I'm going to have that one too. But I'm also going to add this one to my shaving arsenal. And again, to me, I look at it as a lifetime investment. This is something that would be passed down to my son. So while it seems a lot of money for a razor up front, if you consider it's a lifetime tool, it's not that big of a deal. With hardware, I don't mind spending a little more because it's something you're going to use basically forever. With software, sometimes I'm much more reluctant because it's sort of a temporary thing. When it's gone, it's gone. This guy's going to be around forever, basically. That's the way I look at the price. The next question that I've gotten quite a bit is, how is it different from a double-edged razor? Well, the best way I can illustrate it is to really show you the difference in the width of the head, which you see there. This one is much more wide, and the blade that this uses is obviously single edge, one edge. It's much more rigid than your double edge razor. So Whereas in some double-edged razors where you get a little bit of flexing or noise in that blade, a little, gibbering, that's probably not even a word for that. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. A little movement. With this guy, when the blade is locked in there, it's rigid. It is not going to move. And there's not flex in the blade. Some people really prefer that type of experience. Now, for me, I really like either or. This is Above the Tie S2, which I love. I love this one too. I don't really get that big of a difference, although I will say the width of this makes it much different to use because you just have to get accustomed to it. As far as the shave, I will say this gave me the best shave I've ever gotten on the first go of a razor. That doesn't mean it's the best razor of all time. It doesn't mean that by any stretch. It just means it impressed me the most on the first shave out of any razor that I've used. So take that for what it's worth. Many people won't get any value at all out of that. That's okay. But it worked well for me, and so it shaves very well. It's moderately efficient, not too extreme in either direction as far as I'm concerned. So hopefully that answers your question as to how it's different, or maybe explaining more about how the shave went. Another comment I got was, I like it, but I would prefer if you had 3 days growth. That's not a good test for me, ever, because I don't ever accumulate 3 days growth. I shave every single day, and every now and then, maybe once or twice a year, I'll skip a day and I'll have 2 days growth maximum. So for me, using this as a daily driver for a number of days in a row is the way that I would test it for me. And keep in mind, I'm testing it for me. I bought it. I want to see how it goes, and I'm shaving with it in the way that I would normally shave with it. To go with 3 days of growth would be absolutely abnormal for me, so I don't do it because it really wouldn't mean anything to me. So I'm sorry that doesn't help some of you who go multiple days between, but for me it's just not a realistic test because I never go 3 days between shaves. The next question that I've gotten was, are the handles interchangeable? Yes, this handle will work on your S2, your Atlas handle or Chronos will work on your SE1, so yes, you can switch and swap as you see fit, no problem whatsoever with the handles. And the next comment that I've gotten quite a bit has to do with the underside, the machining marks there, which aren't polished out. Look, sometimes this is an issue for me if it's very rough to the touch, which this is not, or if it just looks scratchy or very poorly done. I'm not bothered by this on this razor. I have been bothered by it on other razors where it looks very rough, and you can actually feel it, or you can see lines in it and all the rest. On this razor, I'm not bothered by it. If you are bothered by it, that's okay. It's not a big deal. Don't buy it. Like I said, it's not a deal killer for me. It may be for you, and that's okay. We all don't have to like the same things. But I got to tell you, overall, I think this is going to be an excellent pick for those of you who are in the premium market. It is expensive. If you don't want to spend that kind of money, and you would never spend that kind of money, look at the Colonial Razors General, which is going to be aluminum. It's going to be lighter weight. It still produces a good shave. Not quite as aggressive as this guy, but I think it's still a really good razor. I will own both because I like both. And as I've said in my videos, on a day where I want a little bit of lighter shave, I'll use the General. On days when I want to bring a little more to the table in terms of aggressiveness, weight, and all the rest, I'll be using this guy. I got to say, I have no buyer's remorse after plucking down the $185 for this razor. For me, it met and exceeded my expectation, and I'm going to continue using this razor throughout the week, and if something changes, I'll come back and let you know. I'm not married to my opinions on anything. When things change, I come back and I let you know. Now, I've been called a flip-flopper and everything else. That's fine. Look, I look at it as being a well-rounded individual. When you come back and say, hey, you know what? I was wrong about that. I don't feel that I'm going to be wrong about this razor. And I feel like a lot of people are going to like it when they get it. So that's just my prediction. I could be wrong. One thing I will say about Above the Tie, though, to finish this off, they offer an unconditional guarantee. Within 30 days, if you're not happy with this, you can send this back and swap it out for something else. Maybe you want an S2, which you see here. You can switch, you can swap plates, heads. I mean, you won't be able to do it with this because this is, you know, the only razor they have of this type. But if you're not happy with it, you can send this back and he'll send you an S1 or S2. Who does that? Which razor company around does that except, or other than, I should say, Above the Tie? No one that I'm aware of does this. So if you're not happy with it, you can try a Kronos R1 or, you know, a Slant S1, S2. So it's made in America. I mean, to me, when you have that sort of backing for a product, it means something. So I can buy from Stan with confidence, and I have plucked my money down for this razor, and I do believe in it. And again, whether you want to buy it or not, it makes no difference to me. So if you like it, go for it. It's available for pre-order now. If you don't, no big deal. But no need to piss and moan and complain about options. Options are a good thing. It's going to drive innovation, like I've said before. So, once again, the Above the Tie Bamboo SE1, available for pre-order now. Thanks, guys, for watching, and remember, as always, keep them up, keep them open, and follow the money to get to the truth.